Hello. Oh, that was perfect timing. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fun-packed show. You can see how much fun I'm having already. This is my girlfriend. Hello. Say hi.
Ciao.
Ciao. That's right. Ciao. That's Italian. It means hello.
Hello.
It also means goodbye. It depends how you say it. Hello is ciao. Goodbye is ciao. In fact, one of the most rewarding moments of my life is when I spent 6 fucking months teaching children. And on the very last lesson, they go out and they go, hello, teacher. Hello. Ho detto ciao, ma si dice così. So, anyway, well, welcome to another house fire. So, I'm going to do my fire joke. Here we go. My house burned down. Arse on fire. Yes, and the rest of me. Did you like it? I thought we'd do a bit of audience participation this time. So, you do it when I start, okay? My house burnt down. Yes, and the rest of me. Okay, this time you do it. You start. Arse on fire. Yeah, I get it. That's pretty good. So I'm going to do my other fire joke now. Gay pride. Actually, to convince my parents I'm gay, I bust my ass. But that's another story. Friend of mine spent £300 on a ticket to see Elton John. There must be easier ways to tell your parents you're gay. But seriously, gay pride, police opened fire. And that's a terrible thing. You know, I don't agree with that. Obviously, that's awful. But then I thought, you know, you're gay. A man in full uniform with a hard helmet pulls out his weapon, points it at you, and shoots his load all over you. I mean, you're gay. What's the fucking problem? Anyway, as always, back to the week. It was the anniversary of the death of John Lennon. This is true. And I'm so sick of it. I wish people would shut up about John Lennon. It's easy if you try. It isn't hard to do, and I'm not the only one. John Lennon once said, I never say the same thing twice, never mind 3 times. Well, well, well. Oh, well. I said to Paul McCartney, who has the biggest penis in Southeast England? He said, your mother should know. I said to Paul McCartney, you're always relying on old material. He said, and what's wrong with that? I'd like to know. I said to Paul McCartney, I'd like to be at Slotherington. He said, beware, my love. I said to Paul McCartney, you're a big fan of One Direction. He said, fuck off, you stupid cunt, they're shit. Anyway, before we start, I'm just going to say my favourite song by John Lennon is a song called God. I don't know if you've heard it. And what happens in the song, it's absolutely true. John Lennon, he goes through all the things he doesn't believe in. And it's very controversial. It's very strong. And it goes, you know, I don't believe in Buddha. I don't believe in Jesus. And then, well, he sings a bit better than that, obviously. And then right at the end, it goes, I don't believe in the Beatles. And there's this dramatic pause. And it always makes me laugh because I'm thinking, yeah, like, that's the offensive bit. That's the controversial part, is it? You know, that's the sacrilegious bit. Is going, I don't believe in Buddha. It's all right, mate. I don't believe in Jesus. It's a free country. I don't believe in a Bible. Perfectly up to you. I don't believe in the Beatles. Oh my God. What did you just say? Now you've done it. You leave Ringo out of this. Thomas the Tank Engine saved my life. It's like when people always say that the song by the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, is really about LSD. Whenever people say this to me, I respond in the words of Oscar Wilde. I say, shut up, you stupid fucking cunt. It's just a coincidence, LSD, because if you're going to put LSD in a song lyric, and you have the lyrical ability of John Lennon in 1967, you're going to do a little bit better than Lucy in the Sky with some diamonds. I mean, that is fucking shit. Like one of the greatest songwriters in history is thinking, right, L, what starts with L? Lucy. That's a nice name. I'll use that. S. What starts with S? Oh, yeah, Sky. Lucy in the Sky. Tall lady, big woman. All I need now to complete the conundrum is a D. Well, what do you normally find in the sky that starts with D? Oh, yes! It was staring me in the fucking face. Diamonds! Boom! Lucy in the Sky with some diamonds. Smart. Hey, Paul, George, the other one, come here. Look what I've done. Genius. So anyway, enough of me and enough of John Lennon and his lovely wife, Yoko Ono, or his widow now, actually, because he's dead. Which actually, no, just before I start, it was brilliant because I was reading a list of things on Facebook and it said 10 things you probably didn't know about John Lennon. And number 4 was he was assassinated. And I thought, yeah, I mean, the possibility that, you know, you're interested in John Lennon and you're reading that is going to be like a revelation. I'm like, oh, I wondered why I hadn't made any albums since 1980. And that one was crap. Anyway, enough about me. Crap. We're going to start off with a returning comedian. This is a comedian that I know very, very well. Not sexually. I'm too old for that kind of thing. And we've done a lot of shows together. Had a lot of fun. We've done some improv shows together. I'm going to be talking more about our little projects later. But in the meantime, big round of applause for the hilarious Ryan Stannard. And it's totally black. Never mind.
Currently having a tech issue down my end. Just chat shit.
Like waiting for a bus. Nothing, then 2 at once. Go on. You all right?
Right. Just chat shit for 2 minutes, Michael.
I will just quite happily chat shit. I was talking about the Beatles. Wonderful thing. About a couple of years ago, Ringo Starr from the Beatles did a concert here in Rome, and a part of me wanted to go and watch because it is a Beatle, and I think the Beatles are almost as good as the Spice Girls, you know. But then I thought, at this point in life, it's probably better to die without having seen any Beatle, as opposed to just Ringo, you know. Because I can just imagine my great-grandchildren sitting on my knee, not in a priest sense, perfectly normal. I can just imagine my great-grandchildren, you know, listening to Sergeant Pepper going, "This is awesome." And I go, "Oh, yeah. And I've seen one of them live." Like, "Oh, my God, you've seen a Beatle live? Which one?" Yeah, well, doesn't really matter which one, does it? It's the principle. Oh, for fuck's sake, Grandad, get out of here. Ringo doesn't fucking count. Something else about the Beatles, there was actually a project, and this is hilarious. I read it on Wikipedia, so it must be true. There's a project that we're going to do a big charity concert with Paul McCartney from the Beatles and Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls. And sorry, even I had to laugh at that, you know, like Paul McCartney and Jerry Halliwell, you know, like possibly, you know, member of possibly the greatest, most influential, adored, critically acclaimed giants of musical history of all time, next to Paul McCartney I mean, that's just stupid, isn't it? Let's be honest, yeah. You didn't see that coming, as the blind prostitute said. So, speaking of fantastic music, the Spice Girls. Yeah. What's the difference between the Spice Girls and my mother's legs? The Spice Girls got back together once. I've got 7 hours of Spice Girls jokes, but in the meantime, I think Ryan is back. In fact, I know he's back because this little thing's going there. I'm reading, right? If you don't speak English, because I know there are some Americans watching, don't worry. That said, Ryan is back. So let's have a big round of applause for Ryan Stannard again.
Hello, how's it going? Now, straight off the back, this was me just the other day, attempted beard, and let's just say I would not be allowed in 5 meters within a nursery. Because I tell you what, I mean, fair play for me trying to grow my beard, but let's just say it looks fucking shit. Just like my arsehole after I've eaten the curry from my local cabbage shop. But yes, I'm not in my usual place, as I usually am. I have been smuggled into Kym's house. So someone please call the police for me. Well, actually no, I'm South African. I can take the motherfucker on. But I'll do it with him later. Yeah, I am South African. And I'm going to say some really nice words for you in Afrikaans. No, sorry, that means fuck you, you fucking piece of shit cunt. Sorry, I'm very sorry. But yeah, I am wearing a Coca-Cola shirt, and now I am a fat fucking piece of shit. I mean, look at me. I am 6'2". I weigh a fucking ton. Like, honestly, if anyone's seen those videos on Facebook, how people get like lifted out of their houses to go to the hospital because they're that fat. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm beginning to feel like if I ever need to go, that happens to me, because this second lockdown has just been shit. It's just been fucking shit. And now they are talking about people not being able to go to fucking tier 3 areas, tier 1 areas, and it's just like, what the fuck? I am so fucking pissed off. It is unbelievable. Now, unfortunately, I do not have a joint to show you. We're going to talk about weed now. Now, I can see every single one of you people on here, even though I can't hear you, to, well, find out if you're laughing at my jokes. Well, let's just say my face is a joke, so you're probably laughing at that. But let's have a show of hands if everyone agrees with me that weed should be legal everywhere in the world. No? No one? Okay, well, let's just say weed has its advantages. It is just a drug which should be legal everywhere in the world. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you have back pain in the morning, what do you have? Have a joint. It works. If you feel depressed in the mornings and you want to get cheered up, you go out into the street and start a fight with a random person and know you're going to get knocked the fuck out, have a drug, snort a line of cocaine. Whoa. Let's just stop there. Okay. Don't condone this sort of stuff. Pretty much what I'm trying to tell you guys is don't listen to the fucking government or the prime ministers or your fucking president, because just don't fucking listen to them, really. They're just a bunch of cunts, just like Donald Trump. I mean, fucking hell, you seen the fucking size of that fucking prick. Now, recently I did some research on Mr. Boris Johnson, the guy who is killing all of us fucking people who live in Britain. God, if I get my hands on him, I'm gonna fucking. Oh, right. Once again, we do not condone any violence or drugs on this, so let's just calm down. Okay. Fuck you, Boris. Jesus Christ, I'm just gonna have to have a little chat with my doctor after this. But I found out that Mr. Boris Johnson was born in New York City. Perhaps that's why the fucking cunt's so fat. But I'm going to leave you guys with this one. Now, isn't it annoying when every little shit who are in like year 7 to year 9 or grade 7 to grade 9, just all you can hear, right, is this coronavirus bullshit is really getting on my fucking nerves. And they are standing with a group of 50 people. 50! And you're complaining. Do you know what, guys? I have to get going. Because if I see one of these little shits in a minute, I'm gonna fucking knock the fucking. You know what? I'm gonna fucking go now. Goodbye.
Whoa! Thank you very much, Ryan Stannard. Oh, that was really quite invigorating. Lovely. Yes, coronavirus. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there is a virus going around. Yes. Let's hope it's nothing serious and it won't affect our day-to-day lives. What's the difference between Mrs. Thatcher and coronavirus? Thatcher couldn't close all the hospitals. Yes, I thought it was funny when Mrs. Thatcher died. I thought it was very funny. In particular, because the first tribute to Mrs. Thatcher came from Berlusconi. And I thought, fair enough, he fucked with minors too, so kind of makes sense. What's the difference between Berlusconi and coronavirus? Coronavirus might go away. You know, recently Berlusconi said, all I want now is food, a place to sleep, and regular sex. That's what Berlusconi said. I just want food, place to sleep, and regular sex. So why is he so desperate to stay out of prison? I see a solution here. What do you call a man who spends 20 years in prison and comes out a virgin? Smart ass. What do you call an American who gets an STD? Dumbass. What do you call anyone who likes One Direction? A fucking dickhead, because they are shit. People say, Michael, you can't love One Direction and hate this. So you can't hate one. Oh my God, that was blasphemy. I just said something bad about the Spice Girls. I'll do a few Hail Marys. I'm really sorry. People say, Michael, I say, hello. People say you can't love the Spice Girls and hate One Direction because they're exactly the same. And I say, yes, they are the same. Spice Girls, One Direction, I'm watching 5 cunts. So with that lovely thought, we're going to move on. This is another comedian that I know very well. We've done a lot of Zoom gigs together, all the way from New York City, but this is Zoom, so he might as well be the next fucking room. I love this guy. He's very, very funny. I've seen him 100 times and he's still hilarious. This is the wonderful Bruce Lipsky.
Thank you very much. Greetings from New York City. You know, you were talking about the pandemic. And actually, the pandemic has helped me and my wife get a lot closer and really in touch with our deep-rooted feelings. But all the time spent together has made me realize how much we hate spending so much time together. And she's got me really worried lately. She's got this odd and bizarre behavior. She's got this weird look in her eyes. You know, it's the holidays, and she started binge watching TV. But she's been binge watching the Hallmark Murder Channel. And instead of watching Holiday on Ice, she's watching Holiday on Ice, the CSI Director's Cut edition. It's nothing about skating. It talks a lot about freezers. So I'm trying to figure that one out. It also explains why she wants the new Gordon Ramsay knife set for Christmas. Recently, she did a huge closet clean out. You know, Goodwill called to donate some clothing. She threw out all her business suits and all her fancy dresses, but all she left was one black dress. What's that trying to tell me? And, you know, what message is she trying to say? And she came back the other day and said, you know, I got this Groupon. They just opened one of those axe throwing places by my house. She said it's a 2-for-1 special. I'm worried based on how she throws. Axing could make me one of her exes. And I certainly don't want to be in that position. It's tough. We have a really good marriage. We've been married a long time. 30 years of wedded blisters. And that's because she's been rubbing me the wrong way all these years. And I got the calluses to prove it. And my wife worked on Wall Street for 35 years. She's always in the business mode. Puts everything on an Excel spreadsheet. I wish she'd excel at spreading and putting out between sheets. Before I met my wife, I dated a lot of people. I even dated a very famous TV weather person. But the first time we got intimate was like a bad winter forecast. She was predicting 10 to 12, and all she got was 2 to 4. Boy, was she angry. Now I know why they name hurricanes after women. And during this pandemic, my wife has been totally obsessed with buying on Amazon. The packages are nonstop. In fact, they just rezoned my front porch as a loading dock. I got boxes stacked to the roof. I feel like I'm playing a game of Jenga for giants. And I'm constantly going from the front porch to the living room to the bedroom. I feel like a delivery monkey or Amazon primate. Lately, other things are going on. In fact, she said to me, Bruce, your birthday's coming up. I'd love to get you a present online. What do you need? I said, how about a forklift and a weight belt, maybe a bigger house? But she's got me really worried, though. I think she's having an affair with the UPS guy. She's constantly going on and bragging about how big his package is. In fact, now she's only requesting backdoor delivery. I know what Brown's doing for her. What's he doing for me? And also, now she's into fantasy role play. She has me dress up in brown shorts, construction boots, and carry a clipboard. So anytime I want to have sex, I got to sign for it. This is making my family life miserable. The only smiles in my house now are the ones in the boxes. But we do love doing things together. Broadway shows, nice dinners, the UPS guy. Said it's a beautiful relationship. And my wife is into fitness. She takes goat yoga. She finds it very relaxing and therapeutic, especially when the goat jumps on the back and licks her ears. I said, well, wait a second. I tried that last week. You slapped me and threw me out of the bedroom. And now you're paying a goat to do it? She says, well, he's got great technique and fresh breath. So I asked her, are there any kids in the class? She said, no, they only have adult goats. I just turned 65 years old. I looked in the mirror. I said, shit, I look like an old car, an old busted out Buick. The body is totally shot and out of alignment. My rear end is making funny sounds. My hoses are leaking. And my ball joints have all dried up. I said, I better get Mako. Mako says, oh, no, you better get Medicare. In my house, it used to be, if I had a leak, I'd call a plumber. Now when I spring a leak, I call my urologist. And it's $50 cheaper. Some of the young kids in the crowd over here, you get on stage, you talk a lot, you have a lot of fun. But what do you do for fun on Friday nights? You go out dancing. Bust a move. I'm afraid to go dancing. I may bust a hip. And I'm starting to forget things now. I swear my foam mattress has a better memory than I do. And I've taken up exercise recently, but I only exercise late at night, really late at night, between the hours of 3 and 5 in the morning. I run sprints from the bedroom to the bathroom. And I got my time down under 6 seconds. Trouble is, I can only hold my pee for 4.2 seconds. And I haven't been sleeping so well lately. My wife ordered a new mattress, an avocado green mattress. She's going green. She said it's organic. I don't want organic in my bedroom. I want orgasmic. And this mattress is so lumpy. I think they left some of the bits in from the avocado. I feel like I'm a fajita. What's next? Sour cream pillows? Got one of those adjustable beds too, those Craftmatics. But I found out it's not a good idea to piss her off before bedtime. We had an argument, and the next thing I know, she raised the bed into the shape of a V. And I said, I can't get into it. She says, that's not the only V you're not getting into tonight. And her spending is out of control. She just recently bought a $6,000 designer dog. $6,000. She carries him around like a Gucci handbag. Except that a Gucci handbag only costs $3,000. I'd rather have the handbag. It doesn't need to be walked 6 times a day. And she's named him Mr. Fabio. He's totally taken over my bedroom. Dresses him in a velour velvet smoking jacket, gold collar. He lays on my side of the bed, on my pillow, next to my wife, snoring and farting. That's my job. I'm afraid to kick him out of bed. I'm wondering who the man of the house is. I may get bitten, scratched, and growled at by my wife. And she just put him on the science diet. Me, she put on the science fiction diet. Served me canned spaghetti and meatballs. You know those limp noodles with the glow-in-the-dark sauce? All I know, in 30 years of marriage, I never once served my wife a limp noodle. And it's difficult having a dog when you go on vacation. We just came back we spent $39 at the Holiday Inn, hoping it had HBO. She spent $250 on a 5-star pet resort for the dog. It had to have Wi-Fi and cable. I said, what does he need Wi-Fi for? Is he going to search the internet on plentyofpooch.com and try to score on my nickel? If I'm not getting it, I ain't paying for his romps, maybe except on his birthday. She said also, he wants cable TV. Why? She says he likes to watch his favorite TV show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous Lampposts. And a couple of final things, and I'm on my way. The other day, she was knitting a sweater. I said, who's this for? Somebody having a baby? She said, no, it's for the dog. I said, I asked you to sew a button on my shirt 2 weeks ago. You had no time, and now you're knitting a special sweater for the dog? Custom clothes? She said, well, he's a designer dog. And now we only go to pet-friendly restaurants. We were in the restaurant the other day. They put up special menu for the dog. I ordered a hamburger for $7.95. She said, Mr. Fabio is going to have the $29.95 salmon platter. I said, what does he need that for? She said, well, it's good for his coat. He doesn't need a coat. You're knitting him a sweater. Thank you. That's my time.
Oh, that's better. I was on mute, wasn't I? There's a reason for that. I'm a dickhead. That was wonderful stuff from Brewster. I love Bruce. He's a sort of he's a sort of cuddly Jigsaw, isn't he? You know, Jigsaw from the film Saw. It's like a sort of nice version of Jigsaw. No, because I met Jigsaw once, and I said, "Have you seen my key?" He said, "No, but I'm keeping an eye out for it." I won't say whose eye that was exactly, but anyway. Now, Bruce was talking a little bit about sexual fantasies, and I must confess, sometimes I fantasize about the Spice Girls in the nude. Yeah. Other times, I keep my clothes on for it. Gets cold on the bus, do you know what I mean? I have a sexual fantasy where Melanie C feeds me beer and kebabs in a pink dress. I don't know why I wear a pink dress, but it does suit me, you know, because people say, Michael, why do you spend all day at home naked watching Spice Girls videos and masturbating? And I say, well, I tried it in the park and I got arrested. But I'm joking here, but I once, I actually met Cameron Diaz once. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the Spice Girls, that was a good link, wasn't it? To two people I've wanked over. I think that's how I remember that bit. No, but seriously, I met Cameron Diaz, and people say, you know, was it strange suddenly face to face with this gorgeous, sexy, multimillionaire, internationally known, recognized, and adored superstar sex symbol of stage and screen? And I say, yes, it was strange. But after the initial nerves, she calmed down. Yes, I'm just like everybody else, really. You know, it always makes me laugh when you open a newspaper and it says, you know, good news, lads. Cameron Diaz is single again. What does Cameron look for in a man in our exclusive good news? Sorry, how the fuck is that good news for me? What exactly has changed in my life at this point? Like, my possibility with Cameron Diaz before this news and my possibility now have radically increased, have they? You see, it's exactly the same. You cannot have minus possibility. It doesn't really get any worse than that, believe me. Anyway, enough about my sexual fantasies because I'm getting an erection. It hasn't worn off. In fact, I'm going to type something with my free hand in a minute. Anyway, enough about me. I'm going to introduce now the next act. This is a very, very funny comedian, Maggie Levine. If you forget how to pronounce that, just think Maggie Levine, and then you've remembered. Maggie is a regular with Reckless Comedy. She's performing on Unmuted Comedy this Monday. I think I am as well, but I'm not sure about that. But watch it anyway. Don't worry, there's a cunt like me watching it. She's also going to be on Reckless's Christmas Spectacular on Christmas Eve and the next day, which is Christmas Day. Yeah, you learned a lot with me. I studied at Cambridge. The next day, she's going to be on Worldwide Core Radio. All right. And she also writes for a sketch comedy show called Yesterday Night Taped that you can stream on Spreaker and Spotify. And that reminds me, actually, a new single by the Spice Girls just leaked. And so did I when I saw it. If things go well, it'll be streaming next. In the meantime, big round of applause for Maggie Levine.
Hi, everybody. My name's Maggie. I live in Brooklyn, New York. We are a COVID hotspot, which actually sounds really cool. It sounds like we're this really hot, exclusive nightclub. Very exclusive. No more than 10 people in at a time. Oh, we also have to close at 10. So maybe not so hot. It's weird. This pandemic has made me change how I have to do things. For example, I'm on the subway. This homeless guy gets on and goes to the car and starts singing. Very well, I might add. Now, before COVID, I would just wait for him to come around with his cup or whatever, and I'd throw $1 in there. And now I'm thinking, am I still supposed to be handing over cash? I mean, should I maybe see if the homeless guy takes Apple Pay? I don't know how that works. So as Mike mentioned, I apparently have a lot of comedy dates now on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Yeah, with all the travel restrictions, this pandemic has basically become my holiday get out of jail free card from having to deal with my parents. Yeah, every year, I actually just saw the Rockefeller Christmas tree the other day, and it kind of reminds me of Christmases growing up. I remember my dad would put up the tree, and it would fall over. My job was to help him think of new swear words. Oh, shh, you already tried that, Dad. Try the F word this time. Yeah, I got a lot of bonus points in vocabulary in class that year. So, I have been researching my family history because I figure if you're going to go out in the world all screwed up, it's nice to be able to go back and find something to blame it on. Well, turns out I'm part Canadian, and Canadians are known for being very polite. That does not work very well here in New York City. I learned that the hard way. Like once I almost got hit by a cab crossing the street. Now, anybody else in that situation would have been like, hey, fuck you, asshole. Me, it was more like, excuse me, sir. Sorry to bother you, but would you mind making love to yourself? Well, thank you. You have a lovely evening, too. My aunt and uncle have been married to each other, divorced. Remarried to each other, divorced. Remarried to each other a third time. My uncle performed all those weddings himself. He's a minister. He can do that. Well, during one of those separations, my aunt was married to this other guy. My uncle performed that wedding as well. She had a freebie coming on a punch card. So I grew up in a rich town, but we were poor. Like after spring break, all the other girls would come back from Cancun with their golden brown tans. Then I came back from Secaucus, New Jersey, looking like a sequestered Irish nun. We also couldn't afford a car growing up, so when it came time for me to get my driver's license, my dad took me to the amusement park and taught me to drive in the bumper cars. My senior year, I got voted worst driver out of my class. Big shock, since I wanted to drive in an amusement park. That year, I had an art teacher who always used to say to us, there's no such thing as an accident, only happy little pieces of art. So I told her, great. Could you talk to my parents about that lovely piece of art sitting in the driveway? Right now, it's probably worth $250,000 at MoMA. So after college, I went to Vermont, very small rural town. The cows outnumbered the people up there. I was an English major with a minor in cow tipping. I mentioned my uncle being an ordained minister. I'm actually ordained myself. Although in my case, they just let any get ordained online. The cool part about that is that at my old job, I can make up any religious holiday I want. And by law, they have to let me out of work. Yes, I need to leave work early on Fridays. I'm conducting happy hour services at Our Ladies Night at Joe's Bar and Grill. Nowadays, I work as a background actor, basically being an extra in films and TV shows. That job has really changed my priorities. I grew up in the 80s listening to New Kids on the Block, and I dreamt of someday marrying Donnie Wahlberg. Now, I work on Blue Bloods, and I dream of being that blur standing behind Donnie Wahlberg. We have our own lingo that we use on set. For example, it's a wrap means we're done for the day. Martini shot means the last shot of the day. I like that better because when we're done working for the day, I never have an urge to go out for a chicken wrap. I used to work a lot on Law & Order, the original series. And when I tell people I work on that show, they always say the same thing. Were you the dead body? That would have been a step up. Because the dead body got to join the Actors Union, got paid more than I did, and got to go through the lunch line ahead of me. But that show is off the air now. I have to settle for Rape Victim on SVU. Speaking of rape victim, we have a problem in our neighborhood. A sexual predator has been groping women coming out of the subway. So this local group came up with the answer. They have people out walking their dogs by the subway late at night, and they escort people home coming off the train. Okay, I think this is a great idea, because now I get off the subway late at night. I see Miss Nussbaum, my 90-year-old neighbor, walking a Chihuahua Fifi. I feel so safe already. Yeah, I'm standing there going, all right. Nussbaum, Fifi, you're with me. That guy's coming after me. He's getting to you bitches first. Is it really more of a diversion? I mean, I'm pretty sure I can run faster than a 90-year-old woman and a Chihuahua. Okay, I flew across country once on Virgin Airlines. Had a hard time getting to the Mile High Club, though. But seriously, we're on the plane. We're sitting in the emergency exit row. Flight attendant comes over and tells us we have this great responsibility because if, God forbid, something happens with the plane, we have to help out with the evacuation. Our compensation for this effort, free booze. So if that plane goes down after my third martini, I think we're going to have a problem here. Okay, I don't really know how long I've been up here for, so I'm just going to finish off with a couple words of advice should you ever visit New York City. One, do not play Angry Birds while standing in front of a police station, because nothing pisses off cops more than somebody standing there yelling, "Die, pigs, die." And also, especially with Black Lives Matter being such a hot topic, do not go around calling people the N-word. Ninjas hate to be identified. Okay, my name is Maggie Levine, and you guys have a lovely night or day or whatever the hell it is where you are.
Thank you so much, Maggie. Wonderful stuff there, as always. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit confusing, the time thing. In fact, when Scandinavian women come to Rome, they have to put their clocks back 372 fucking years. Actually, while you were talking, that reminded me of something. I finally learned how to put on a condom. It's a wrap. Thank you very much. It's interesting. Maggie was talking about, thrillers and detective stories. And I'm very proud to say that I've finally worked out who is the greatest. Thank you. Who is, I can't explain why I'm laughing. It's not my jokes, though. No, seriously, I finally worked out who is the greatest serial killer in history. Do you know who it is? It is Miss Marple. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because wherever Miss Marple goes, have you noticed? people die. And she's really good at blaming other people. She thinks of all these really clever things. It was this motivation. She always finds people, it could be them. It was her. And they always say it's the last person that you'd suspect, this sweet little lady. So I think she's a bit of a murderer. I still fancy Miss Marple, actually. I do. Because I'm intelligent. I don't go for the surface beauty. I go for inner beauty. It's what's inside. In fact, my mother once said, "You are what you have inside," which makes my mother a dickhead. The only thing that annoys me with Miss Marple is when there are two characters and they don't see each other for like years and years and years. And then they see each other again and they recognize, one of them recognizes the other one because they have a little mannerism that gives it away. But what annoys me is that the mannerism is never something subtle, like, you know, sort of blinking or, you know, scratching your shoulder when you're nervous. It's always something really obvious. It's always like, so I was thinking that today we could go shopping together. How about that? And the other person's like, "Oh my God, it's him. I recognize him. He used to do that." You know, so anyway. Also, Maggie talking about her dad. My dad keeps lecturing me about my Madonna obsession. I said, "Papa, don't preach." My dad was a failed epileptic. No great shakes. My dad has green fingers. Cunt's been dead for 6 months. My dad was so upset after the divorce. He said, "Michael, don't ever mention that woman again." I said, "It's all right, Dad. Mum's the word." My dad said, "Michael, you are lazy and vulgar." I couldn't be bothered to answer the cunt. My dad has a penis growing out of his head, but he keeps it under his hat. Oh, he's so funny. He gets nervous at the drop of a hat. When I was 8 years old, my dad ejaculated on the back of my head. I was wet behind the ears. Now, I'm going to stop this before it gets crude, because that is not my style. And we are going to continue now with a little bit of a video. You're going to enjoy this. You really are good. It's even better than me, this video. Whoa! Wow, I'm sure that was amazing, but I really don't know because my computer is shit and I couldn't see a fucking thing. My computer is like anal sex. Fucking shit. In fact, speaking of that, Stevie Wonder is so talented, he could play piano with his eyes closed. You know, Simon and Garfunkel said to Depeche Mode, we've got a great new line, right? Parsley, sage, rosemary. And we can't think of how to finish it. Will we ever think of a final bit? And Depeche Mode said, yes, it's just a question of time. I can never remember any Depeche Mode songs. It's nothing personal, Jesus. I can never remember any rock and roll. Ain't that a shame? I can never remember any Talk. Such a shame. I can never remember any Alanis Morissette. Isn't that ironic? I can never remember any One Direction. Thank fuck for that, because they are total and utter fucking shit. No, seriously, I did actually watch a film recently. It was Harry Potter. I started watching Harry Potter. When I woke up, I tried to carry on watching it. No, seriously, the only thing I hate about Harry Potter is the beginning and the end. And there's a real dip in the middle, isn't there? Terrible stuff. Terrible. At the end of Harry Potter, it always says, every character in this film is fictitious. Thank you. I was trying to find them all on Facebook. The other thing that's funny, I thought it was funny when the Spice Girls did a film. It was hilarious. But in particular, it was funny because everybody who went to see the Spice Girls film came out of the cinema and said, it's not very good. I'm like, of course it's not very good. It's the fucking Spice Girls film. What are you expecting? Some sort of Ken Loach social commentary? You know, Ingmar Bergman script? Fellini camera work? Yes, what expect so much more from the girls? Never let me down yet. Anyway, we are going to move on now with an act that I kind of know this guy fairly well, bit too well. In fact, he still owes me 50 quid for a few favors that I did. So I'm joking. It was my mother. My mother owes me. So enough of my problems. Big round of applause for the hilarious Kym Nash.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. I owe your mother. Yeah, I know. I owe your mother nothing. Anyway, why the fuck are you here?
Because I fucking can, you cunt.
Right, get out.
No, you're short as fuck. You don't tell me what to do. You want to go, bitch? I'll fucking punch
Right, that's it. Where's the whip?
What the?
I will hit you again.
Like I hit your mum up in bed last night.
Just get out.
No.
Right, that's it. Come on.
No! Get the fuck off me, you fat fucking cunt.
I'm not fat. I'm plump. Get out.
Stop a dead day.
Thank you. Anyway, enough about that. I do apologise for that. Hi, my name's Kym Nash. Let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is actually unisex, which I think is a lie for two reasons. Number one, I could never afford uni. Fucking look at me. Look, I can't even afford a fucking light bulb. And second of all, I don't get sex. I do that on any other comedy show, and they're like, ha, virgin. I'm like, ha, true. Talking about that, I'm atheist, and I'm actually in a church group, and they're doing like a virtual nativity show. And you want to know who I've been casted as? The Virgin fucking Mary. Yep. I am going to be playing Virgin fucking Mary, the role I've been dying to play. That's called sarcasm if you don't already know. Tonight I'm going to be trying out some new stuff, a couple of bits of old stuff for you guys. So let me know what joke works and what doesn't. Thank you. So, anal. Anal's a bit shit, to be honest. Yes, Michael, fuck you. But yeah, anal, I got out of a relationship in between the last lockdown and the lockdown before that. And the girl I was with, the relationship ended after I made a snarky comment. You know, someone makes a snarky comment, the other person doesn't take it well, just a bit like anal. And I'm going to give you a bit of advice, America, Australia, Israel, wherever the fuck you are. When you're having sex, or the sex, who says the sex anymore? Come on, darling, let's have the sex. No. When you're having anal, what you don't say is, to the girl while you're having anal, don't say to her, your ass looks like a pan of chocolate. Don't say that. I'll tell you why. Thing is, when I said it, I should have stopped there. Instead, I went, your ass looks like a pan of chocolate because it's crusty and it's got a filling. Just threw up in my mouth there. Okay, what's next? So this girl, okay, the very same girl who I had told that her ass looks like a croissant. On our first date, she was very eager. Have you ever had that? Someone on a first date is really eager? If you have, you should know it's red flags when she's suggesting baby names. Okay? Anyone ever had that, suggesting baby names on a first date? No, I'm the first person to ever have that in my family. And it was weird because she said to me, and this is honestly true, she said, if it's a daughter, could we name it Diana? And I said, I don't want my daughter to be a car crash. Neither do I want her to have tunnel vision. Good. That one's always a great one. I love that joke, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Kit Kats. Who likes Kit Kats here? I don't know. Who knows? But Kit Kats are a bit like fingering. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. Simple. Kit Kats are like fingering. 2 fingers. Or if you're Michael's mother, 3. Right, what's next? Okay, this is good. You've all heard of Shakira, haven't you? You've all heard of Shakira, you know, hips don't lie. To be honest, someone said to me, what's the most interesting thing on your Spotify playlist? And I said, Shakira. And he went, hips don't lie. I said, I never knew they were lying in the first place. That's always good. That's never going to work. Anyway, recently, a friend of mine said to me he's debating on becoming a terrorist. I said to him, don't kill the mood. Don't kill the mood. And also, don't kill 9/11. You know, watch out for the towers on your way out. Tried doing that on an American show. When I was back in school, the common sort of offensive saying in school was, fuck your mum. And I'm like, to be honest, even if I wanted to fuck my mum, I wouldn't fuck my mum, okay? I've walked in on my mum having anal sex. I'm not even joking. It would have been all right if I had left, you know? If you walk in on your parents, hands up in the backstage area if you've ever walked in on your parents having sex. Anyone ever walked in? I thought you fucking would, okay? What would you normally do in that situation? You walk in, yeah, and you see them having sex. What do? You just walk out like, okay, I didn't see that. But what do? I just stand there, look my mum deep in the eyes while she's taking it up the ass and go, you're taking it very well, mum, aren't you? And she's like, get out! And I'm like, all right, fucking hell, woman. Fucking hell. But I'm going to finish with a final word of advice. Wear your fucking mask. Simple. Just wear your fucking mask, you idiot. Okay? Anyway, I've been Kym Nash. Thank you so much. You guys have been brilliant. I'm going to hand back over to Michael. Give it up. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Oh, it's back behind you. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. That was wonderful. I just want to point out at this point, my mother is not a prostitute, right? Good. She does it for free. And actually, it's 4 fingers, not 3. Speaking of which, I asked Freddie Mercury, I said, how many virgins do you want to deflower tonight? He said, I want to break 3. Freddie Mercury actually got involved in half castrations. It's true. I said, Freddie, how's it going with your half castrations? He said, I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. So don't stop me now. I do half castrations just to get the ball rolling. I'm joking here, but I recently went to a short-sighted castrator. Can I have my ball back, please? Incest. I can relate to that. I didn't want to try bondage, but my hands were tied. Actually, what is the worst thing? This is absolutely true, you know. A while ago, I broke my wrist on my right hand. What is the worst thing when you break your wrist? Let's be honest. If you're a man, what is it? We all know, right? And at this point, someone all goes, he can't wank. No. That is not the worst thing when you break your wrist. The worst thing when you break your wrist is that hilarious comment that everybody makes again and again. And fucking it's like, hey, how'd you do that, mate? 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 You've been wanking too much, mate, is that it? Is that you done it? Too much wanking, eh? Is that you done it? Too much wanking, eh? Too much of the old wanking, mate, is that it? Is that you done it? Too much of that? I reckon that's it. You've done it, been wanking too much, ain't you, mate? It's too much of the old wanking, isn't it, mate? Is that too much of the old wanking, you know? Too much of that, too much. Hey, barman, get him a pint. He needs a pint. You know why? Because he's been wanking too much, isn't he? Look at that, it's too much wanking, isn't it? Is that too much wanking? Fuck's sake, you know? Obviously, that is how I did it. But it's still irritating, isn't it? That reminds me, it was my birthday recently, and whenever it's my birthday, I always say a big thank you to Facebook. Because none of you cunts would have known otherwise, would you? My mother's birthday cake was strangely appropriate. It was a massive tart, spread, filled with cream. And it had hundreds and thousands on top. Anyway, they don't get any worse than that. So I'm going to introduce another comedian that I know very well. I'm so popular, aren't I? I should be on Facebook for all the friends. Wouldn't it be great if someone on Facebook had just like one friend? You know, it'd be great, wouldn't it? You know, it's better to have no friends, like one friend. So big round of applause for the headliner. I've seen this guy several times. He's very, very good. He's the headliner tonight. It is, of course, the hilarious Elazar Friedman.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. And the crowd coming together.
See everybody, man.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am the headliner. Wait till my mom hears the news how well my comedy career. Yeah, you don't want to brag, but I just headlined the Ducky streaming site show. What is it called? Reckless. Reckless. The Reckless. I just headlined Reckless. So. I'm gonna buy you a house, Mom. You just wait. I don't know. Yes, I am in Israel, and often I'm late for Zoom shows because I get confused by the time difference. Like in the UK, it's about 8:15, but here in Israel, it's time for the Palestinians to leave. So it's just happened. It's a joke, of course, to complicate it. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's Hanukkah, third candle. For those of you who don't know, Hanukkah is when my people celebrate that oil that was meant for one day lasted 8 days. But miracles happen every day, okay? This mask was also meant for one day, and I've been using it for 4 months. Basically, happens all the time. Yeah, so I was doing a show earlier, actually, and people weren't laughing, and I was confused. And someone was like, bad connection. I was like, oh, that's weird. I have 4 bars. No, bad emotional connection. You're not connecting emotionally. Yeah, I actually got this joke from here. It was a riff and became a joke that destroys. Yeah. I don't know. The Zoom shows, I think we can all relate. We've all been on them. Like, they're difficult. They're hard. Like sometimes, I don't know if have you experienced this? even in a meeting where unless the host decides who to spotlight, then Zoom decides who to spotlight.
Yeah.
And it's not always the person talking, it's just whoever they think is the most interesting, using their judgment with no regard for anyone's feelings. I was in the middle of a joke once. Suddenly the screen switches to some guy scratching his nose. Like, excuse me? Am I less charismatic than a nose scratch? I'm still here, you know? I'm still... Come on, dude, I tried to get the algorithm's attention. It looked like I was at sea trying to get rescued. I was like, I'm over here. I'm telling jokes over here. It was just, you know, it felt disrespectful. It felt like someone had come to film my show, and in the middle they were just like, That's for the action. Someone scratching his nose, you can't miss that. I'll tell you who I feel bad for on Zoom. I feel bad for the students because it's gonna cripple the reflexes that they need for real life. And I'll explain, all right? Because when you go to school regular and you have like a crush on someone in your class, you can stare at your crush, but you have to be vigilant. You know what I'm talking about? Like you can stare at her, but as soon as she's about to catch you, you just tilt your head by 1 degree and pretend to be thinking of something completely different. You know? So it's like she catches you, and then it's a small move, right? But on Zoom, and you know, I've been guilty of this. If you have a crush on someone, you can pin her video, put her on full screen, you know, put your feet up, get a bucket of popcorn, stare at her the whole time the teacher's talking. And life doesn't work that way, all right? In real life, you could tell this to your sons, Kym, when you're young, but one day you'll have sex and you'll have sons, all right? Is someone vacuuming?
I like
Someone vacuuming? All right, no, because this is a pearl of wisdom. In life, the price for staring at women without being labeled as a freak is constant vigilance.
Yeah, Michael.
Okay? I don't know who's right. That's all right. All right, so, dude, is someone moving apartments while someone, I don't know, rustling a cat's, I don't know, crumpling paper next to the mic?
Hands free. Hands free.
All right.
One hand free.
All right, dude, Michael, get some cream. Your penis is making a lot of noise.
Stroking the cat.
All right.
When masturbating. Poor cat. Poor cat.
Poor cat. Oh my God, Michael! You know how Michael would light a fire if he was stuck on it? He would masturbate, and then the sparks would light the tinder. That's how.
Good idea, actually.
That's how dry Michael's penis is, right? And if that doesn't work, he just fingers his mom until the 4 fingers.
Help me pass tomorrow because I've got a free day, so thank you.
Anyway, you know what? The COVID, I don't care about it as much as other people do. What I'm eating, I'm at my parents' house. On the cultural level, yeah, the comedy sucks, but other than that, I don't care. I don't care that the restaurants are closed. You know, because restaurants are expensive and I'm cheap. Okay, and all right. One time, you know, I ordered ravioli. Never do this. I ordered ravioli. I get the plate. It costs, by the way, $15. Okay, I get the plate. I count the ravioli. 10 little raviolis. You think I could enjoy it? No, I was like $1.50, $3, $4.50. Just this is no way to eat. Very upset. They're like, "Are you enjoying it?" I think I'm done. I'm done. You put it down, and I'm already feeling. This feels like what I should eat to decide if I want to order this dish. This feels like a sample. Yeah, you can't enjoy ravioli unless you're like a millionaire or a master of Zen. You know, it's like 5 ravioli is like a bucket of ravioli to he who has mastered himself. I don't know. But unless you're a Zen master or a millionaire, never order ravioli. Okay, that's my. And if you're a Zen master, you're supposed to be able to enjoy a bucket of crap too. So if you're a Zen, basically down a millionaire. Yeah. Winter's coming here. I like winter. I know who here likes winter more than summer.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you, and it's okay, Bruce and Maggie, that you're wrong. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because heat is inescapable. You know what I mean? Like cold. When I'm cold, I can add layers. But when I'm hot, once I'm naked, I'm out of moves. You know?
Other moves.
I also I'm like on a personal level, I'm traumatized because I grew up without air conditioning. Okay, in Israel. Okay, dude, the only I'll show you. I'm not even kidding. My only escape was floor tiles. You see the floor? I didn't sleep in my bed in the summer. I slept naked on the floor like a lizard. Just as much skin area as possible. I would move like every 2 hours. I would wake up and I would peel myself off the tiles. Move to the next row of tiles. I would do the whole length of the room by the time I woke up. And then I would peel my ball sack and bring it with me. My ball sack left behind. You know what I love about comedy? That's not a strong punchline writing-wise, but there's something about saying ball sack that everyone's like, ball. It's a little relatable, and just a little bit of ball sack is just a funny thing to say. Just God bless words like ball sack. I'm never taking that out of my act. Yeah. So. Oh, and by the way, let me know if I have what my time left. When a minute. Just I don't know. Let me know.
We're supposed to be keeping time.
What?
We're supposed to be keeping time.
Oh, I want my fucking burger.
I don't. Okay, so I'll just do 2.
Go on, man.
All right, I'll just do the 2. All right, so I'll tell you a little bit about my family before I go. Okay, my dad, great guy. Growing up, he made me want to kill myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know nice guy, good dad, responsible dad. But there were moments where I would want to kill myself. Particularly whenever I asked him to help me with my homework. After I was like 12, I never did it again. I'm like, I'll fail. I don't care. I'm not asking for his help because he always made me do it properly. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, Dad, I'm stuck. Like at 11 p.m. This is no time for philosophy, okay? At 11 p.m., I'm like, Dad, I'm stuck. Where do I carry? I'll do like math problems. I'm like, where do I carry the 3? Like, son, isn't the real question, why do you carry the 3? No. Young man, why do we carry the 3? I don't care. Just tell me where to take it. I'll take it. You're not even curing it. I'll do it. Basically, 5 minutes after I'd ask him for help with my homework, it would end up in vendettas. Okay, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna fail in math, but also I'm gonna fail in life. Okay? You carry that. You didn't want to carry the 3. You can carry the burden of failing as a father. Just like, just tell me where to take it. And he knew. Anyway, I still don't know why or where to carry the 3. So fuck you, Dad. Anyway, my mom, I want to say, is not stupid, but she is when it comes to me, because she loves me and it clouds her judgment. I can't get an accurate feedback of who I am as a person. Just unfiltered love and admiration, and like she thought I was like a handsome young man when I was so fat when I was a kid. We had to order special pants for me on the internet. I was like, oh, you're gonna beat the girls away with a stick. And at some point, I'm like, I should get, you know, it feels nice, but it's not good in the long term. She thinks I'm popular. Like I'm not unpopular, but she'll be like, we'll talk on the phone, and she'll be like, Elazar, every time I run into one of your friends, they ask me how you're doing. And I'm like, it's basic manners, Mom. I am the only thing you and my friend have in common. I'm like the weather. Do you understand that doesn't... That needs work. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Had a good time.
I was muted again there. Sorry about that. Thank you so much to Elazar. Elazar, can you come back for a minute? Is that possible?
Wait, who?
What's that?
Is it possible just me to say something to Elazar? Because I prepared this.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'll get you to...
Yeah, that's all right. We can leave it like that. That's fine. Because Elazar is, you're a bit of an expert on animals, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to...
Right. Yeah, because I've got an animal joke. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Right. A horse goes into a pub.
Right.
And the barman says, why the long penis? He says, because I'm a horse. All right. Did you like it? That was just for you, that was
I have a vulgar giraffe joke. Would you like to hear it?
Go on. Yeah, I've got it. Why the long neck?
No. I'm getting head from a giraffe, and it was deep throat.
Ooh,
yeah.
Maybe like a monkey goes into a barn. Why the long arms? I think I see what that was doing. That was very good, Elazar. Thank you so much. Thank you, baby.
Thank you.
So, anyway, but seriously, Elazar, he is an expert on animals. So I thought what I'd do to finish the show, I wouldn't do one of my crappy jokes. I dig out a fantastic joke about animals. And this is it. It's not my joke. It's a good one. I used to work in a zoo. And the star attraction of this zoo is an extremely rare breed of gorilla. Fortunately, we have a male and a female of the gorilla, so we're hoping that they will fuck. Wait, technically, sorry if this is too technical. We're hoping that the gorillas will fuck and create another baby gorilla so that our star attraction can continue. Unfortunately, one day there's a tragedy, and it's all true, this story. The male gorilla dies. And this is a huge problem for us at the zoo because the gorilla is our main attraction. And what's going to happen when it dies out, you know? So all the people at the zoo, including moi, we have a bit of a brainstorming session, and we don't know what to do. You know, we can't go to Africa because it's too expensive. Even if we go to Africa, we can't guarantee that we find this very rare gorilla. And even if we find this very rare gorilla, it's wild, right? It's savage. It can't live in captivity. So we just don't know what we're going to fucking do. And in the end, my friend, he has this idea. He says, listen, he says, I've got this great idea. Well, it's a bit strange, but hear me out. I have a friend who is a bit hirsute, right? Hairy, technical. And he's very open-minded sexually. And he'll do anything for a bit of money. And I say, sorry, no, you're not suggesting that your friend fucks the female gorilla hoping to impregnate her. And he says, what, you got any better ideas? I say, no, but how are you going to convince him? And he says, well, £1,000. I say, where do you want to get £1,000? He says, listen, mate, I've got £1,000 in the bank, and I am prepared to put up £1,000 because this zoo is everything to me. I love this zoo. It's not just my job, it's my life. And if I lose this zoo, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get depressed. So it's a lot of fun, isn't it? From someone who would know. Actually, I've got to complain about your language. It's a little R, not a big R. So yeah, get these things right. Otherwise, people could be shocked. So, but anyway, so he says, I'm going to offer £1,000 so that this guy will fuck the female gorilla. But because I'm putting up the money, can you do the talking? And I say, fine, but I can't promise anything. So I'm chatting to this guy and I say, listen, as my dad said, I'm just going to come out with it. I've got a business proposition. Now, before you say no, think about it, because it's for £1,000. Will you, for £1,000, have a relationship with a gorilla? And he says, I already have a relationship with a gorilla. And I go, oh, that's fantastic. And he says, yeah, I go to the zoo once a month, and the gorilla is the high point of my visit. I say, look, mate, you don't understand. We want you for £1,000 to take this relationship to the next level. And he goes, what do you mean? Like, offer it a pint? I don't think she drinks. Look, mate, you just don't get it, do you? Okay, listen, for £1,000, will you have full sex with the gorilla? And he goes, yeah, why not? Fuck it, yeah, I can do that, yeah. I said, oh, really? Oh, thank you, you've solved a crisis. And he goes, yeah, but hang on. There are certain conditions. I can't just do it. There are certain conditions. And I say, fine, fire away. He says, good. Number one, nobody knows about it. I say, that's absolutely fine. He says, number two, I decide the time and the place. It's fair enough, right? Number three, this £1,000, right? I pay in installments, okay? I love that joke. Anyway, that was a good joke because it wasn't one of mine. Before I fuck off, I just want to say two things. Number one, I want to remind you that we have a lot of fascinating shows coming up. Tomorrow, as you can see how, but if you can't speak English because you're American, we've got the Thankmas charity stream tomorrow, streaming from 6 o'clock UK time. Remember the time difference? I've made that joke far too many times, but I still like it. And on Tuesday, there is the improv night, Tuesday, 6 o'clock. And we're going to be back on the next Saturday. There's going to be me doing this all over again, hopefully with some new jokes. Time. Do I have any jokes about time? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to confess to masturbating in a vegetable patch, but the time has come. Last thing I want to say a big thank you to all the wondrous acts we've had on tonight. We have had big round of applause. Ryan Stannard, Bruce Lipsky, Maggie Levine, Kym Nash, Elazar Friedman, and some cunt called Michael Monkhouse. Big round of applause. Thank you so much. See you next week, guys.